And Bill and Sandra, you know, when things like this are happening, it seems everyone starts to look up, like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is, if it's a natural phenomenon, because it could be, but this is why so many municipalities are now asking people to reach out and send their videos to them or to experts who might be able to sort out what they're seeing in the skies. But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in Mendham Borough. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
For the record, I think this one is cap, but let me know what you think. Welcome back to another episode of the High Frequency Chaos. Today, we're going to be diving into the phenomenon of the drones, sightings all over the US. All right, grab your tinfoil hats. Let's get diving.
Someone called the cops on these lights.
Somebody call the cops on the lights.
See, even the police, they're going crazy.
These aliens are attacking.
Oh my god, now cars they're starting to notice. Here comes another. Oh, fire truck.
Somebody call the cops on these lights. That's hilarious to me. What are your thoughts on this one? Do you believe that's real or cap?
Going on? What the fuck is that? What the hell? Okay, something's going on. Something's going on. What is that next to it? What the fuck? A part of me is starting to maybe think like that red drone is someone's drone. Like someone here putting it up, like police or something like that. And the one above it is the unidentified drones. I don't know. That's not accurate. I am just saying my theory because that red drone is really low. It's kind of weird. And oh my god, look at that one going.
So it looks like a parachute jumper got some pretty good footage of these drones over New Jersey.
This is crazy.
Full disclosure, I'm a commercial pilot, and this is unlike any aircraft I've ever seen.
That's not a plane.
Certainly not.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are?
Another drone?
That's right. It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
We have no idea where these drones come from, who owns them. We should be doing some very urgent intelligence analysis and take them out of the skies, especially if they're flying over airports or military bases.
So if they don't know what they are or their intentions or where they come from, should we be alarmed? Should we be panicking in mass hysteria? No, don't ever do that. Don't live in fear, right? But I don't believe the drones are aliens. I believe it's from governments or from somewhere. It's tracking something. Something is fishy. What are your thoughts there?
What these are? Are we under attack or about to be? Are we being spied on by a foreign adversary?
We have no freaking idea what these are.
The drones have been seen in the sky every night since November 18th from dusk to 11 p.m.
Nobody has any idea.
New Jersey State Assemblyman Brian Bergen, a former Army helicopter pilot, has asked to borrow an Apache chopper from the National Guard to shoot them down.
For somebody to be doing that in a civilian capacity, to have a 6-foot large drone and them flying all over the state at the same time, I mean, that's a lot of money in drones up there. Who could possibly be doing that?
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones.
That theory is being debunked by the Pentagon.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
These are apparently very, as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark.
Very early in 2025, all hell is going to break loose. The volume of sightings, weird objects in the sky, it's off the charts. I am swamped by people sending me videos from all over the world. And it's not just in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's not just in the United Kingdom. It's India, Greenland, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Japan. I cannot believe the volume of sightings that are going on at the moment. Something is showing itself in our skies. We are going to look back and we are going to say that the autumn of the drones was a turning point. There's consistent sightings of drones over military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous. I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm before the storm. A reckoning is coming.
I'm not going to lie. I got chills at the end of his statement there. 2024, the calm before the storm. Yo, 2025 is going to be very, very interesting. 2024. All the truths start breaking out, and now we have all this phenomenon in the sky, the escalations of wars, and now these different drone sightings. Let's keep diving. Now we're going to dive into the news covering the segments. I have never seen so many outlets at one time covering the alien phenomenon or even this drone activity. Do you think it's all connection to what Trump was saying, the releasing of footage of aliens? Like I said, the drones, I don't know, to be honest, at this point, if it's the drones, seeking the alien mothership out there.
In the past 20 minutes, I think we've seen about 15 of these drones. In fact, there's one right over my shoulder, right there.
I got reports that there were drones actively happening in Monmouth County. So I raced up to Monmouth County and pulled off near Red Bank. And sure enough, I looked up in the sky in the town and saw one. So I followed it to a residential area and got out of my car, took out my iPhone and started filming it.
I can't believe I'm seeing this.
And it was about 150 feet overhead. At that point, I said, look, my iPhone's not capturing this. I called my photographer, who was about half an hour behind. I said, get up here with your camera right now. He came and met me, and for the next 2 hours, we traveled to various spots around Monmouth County, and I believe we saw over 50 of these drones. And I gotta say, if this is not the military, it's even more terrifying. These things they look like they're fixed wing, and they have multiple lights. There's a red light, on some of them there's a green light, then there's easily 3 white blinking lights. They go at the usual cadence. We tried to chase one, and it rapidly sped off. I'm not really sure how to process what we all saw last night. Both Nick and I my cameraman, were kind of stunned by the whole experience, and we will have the full report tonight on Elizabeth Vargas Live.
Well, it's not a plane. I know that.
Well, there is a downed. On the way here, I was on the phone with my OEM team, and we now have guidance coming from the state, and that guidance does say 2 different things. First of all, if there is a downed drone in our vicinity, we are immediately to call the bomb squad of our county, And second, our fire department has been instructed to make sure they wear hazmat suits. So we're being told that people in New Jersey must be crazy, that they're only seeing small aircraft. And that's just not the case. If you're on the ground in New Jersey, my residents are concerned, and they're quite alarmed because they have no idea what's hovering just over their houses. You got to understand, a drone is considered an aircraft because it's flying in unrestricted space or restricted space. So it's considered an aircraft. These do look like a small aircraft. There's no doubt about that. They don't look like the personal drones that we're used to seeing. We had an unprecedented briefing on Wednesday. I mean, 200 state mayors were all gathered together, and we learned exactly what the state of New Jersey learned, which is very little. But the thing that we did take away from that was that we were told very point blank that these drones are hovering over our critical infrastructure. Now that's interesting because they're not doing any harm. They're just hovering over that. We're also told that there's no credible threat. When you start putting things together that they're telling us, critical infrastructure, no credible threat, they're unwilling to shoot them down. They're unwilling to do a temporary ban. And we can see them that they have lights on them. So something's not adding up here. It sounds like it might very well be our highest level government. It might be government assets that are being deployed as a countermeasure.
We're standing outside of Yankee Stadium, where less than 24 hours ago, New Yorkers spotted yet another mysterious drone hovering over the South Bronx. Now, New York Governor Kathy Hochul says there's no evidence that shows that these drones are a threat to the public. But across the Hudson River, Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey says he's taking his concerns straight to the president.
This is over my house right now.
They appear only at night. Clusters of drones, some with colorful lights, as big as cars.
Wait, literally there's one right above us?
In New Jersey, unexplained drone activity was reported above this naval weapons station, while farther north, the FAA ordered temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over Picatinny Arsenal, where armament research is conducted, and Trump National Golf Club. Since last month, more than 3,000 sightings have grown to at least 6 states across the East Coast, and so has the chorus of officials demanding answers. Senator Andy Kim spotted these over a park in Hunterdon County, New Jersey.
I've never seen them. Wow, they just passed each other.
I'm just not getting the kind of communication and engagement when it comes to the investigation that's happening by the FBI, Homeland Security. So we need a lot more communication to the people of New Jersey.
But the White House says many of the reports may have been planes, not drones.
We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings.
That hasn't convinced the Sheriff's Department in Ocean County, New Jersey. We went along with their drone unit as they conducted their own investigation.
If they didn't put their lights on, no one would be looking, right?
Right.
And they're putting their lights so they want you to see.
Their tactical drones easily outmaneuvered by the mysterious objects in the sky.
That drone sped away at reportedly 60 miles an hour. Our drones only go 40. Yeah. And it went 60 and shows lights. The thing is, it's troublesome.
Sam Vinograd used to run counter-drone policy at the Department of Homeland Security.
Panic among the public, from my perspective, does impose a public safety threat. And the longer these drone sightings continue, the longer the public doesn't have answers.
Or their inner.
And tonight, President-elect Donald Trump is weighing in as well. In a post on Truth Social, he wrote to the federal government, and I quote, "Let the public know and now." Otherwise, he called for the drones to be shot down. Margaret?
Tom, thank you.
There's another one.
For almost a month, swarms of drones the size of small cars have been spotted over parts of New Jersey, alarming local residents.
I look to my left and I see 2 big drones. They were propeller driven, going very slowly.
And unnerving lawmakers who say they popped up in at least 10 counties. The issue prompting a meeting Wednesday attended by roughly 100 mayors and state representatives.
Are you telling me that in America, somebody can start flying drones and we have no clue what's going on?
Garden state leaders say they're confounded by the federal government's response and that of their own governor, who's preaching calm. Perhaps even more concerning, military officials say they've documented at least 11 unauthorized drone incursions over nearby Picatinny Arsenal, a weapons development center. And President-elect Trump's Bedminster Golf Club is also in the area. Local police have been launching their own drones into the sky to give chase. So far, the mysterious drones continue to elude them.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of New Jersey and has confirmed that there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels. And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace. Now, that said, we certainly take seriously the threat that can be posed by unmanned aircraft systems, which is why law enforcement and other agencies continue to support New Jersey and investigate the reports, even though they have uncovered no malicious activity or intent at this particular stage. While there is no known malicious activity occurring, the reported sightings there do, however, highlight a gap in authorities. And so we urge Congress to pass important legislation that will extend and expand existing counter-drone authorities so that we are better prepared to identify and mitigate any potential threats to airports or other critical infrastructure, and so that state and local authorities are provided all the tools that they need to respond to such threats as well.
What's really going on here? The White House, they're saying they don't know what these drones are. They're saying that they do. They're saying that the drones are being, controlled. But controlled by who? Is it them? Is it a foreign country? Or is it aliens? I don't know. I don't think it's aliens, but let's keep diving.
A Navy weapons station in New Jersey now confirms multiple cases of drones entering its airspace. The Garden State's newly elected Senator Andy Kim posted this new video of lights hovering near a reservoir in his state. And former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan posted this video today showing what appear to be large drones circling his house last night. The White House, Pentagon, and FBI have all said while they do not know what these objects are, there's no evidence of
growing
a threat.
Frustration with the number of mysterious drone sightings growing now as far south as Maryland. Already, of course, sightings in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. And news tonight, a confirmed sighting of drones over a naval weapons station in New Jersey. And New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy now asking President Biden directly for help. Here's Ariel Reshef.
Tonight, mounting frustration and alarm as even more states in the Northeast report swarms of those unexplained aircraft dotting the skies.
The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
From New York to Connecticut to the Philadelphia suburbs, increasing reports of drones hovering overhead.
Drone number 2.
Maryland's former governor posting on X he saw dozens of large drones over his own home right outside the nation's capital. And today, a naval weapons station in New Jersey confirming multiple instances of drones crossing into its airspace, but saying they did not pose a threat. Tonight, New Jersey's governor appealing directly to President Biden, saying the continued reports of unmanned aircraft system activity has raised more questions than answers. And overnight, New Jersey Senator Andy Kim out with police to see for himself. You can see lights of apparent drones above him.
We're seeing just a number of different drones, probably 4 or 5 that we can see right now at any given time, flying low over the ridge line here.
David, tonight authorities warning residents not to approach any drones that may land in your area. Instead, call 911. David.
Ariel Reshef on this again tonight. Ariel, thank you.
What does the FBI know where these drones are from? And going forward, are we going to give local and state law enforcement the tools they need to be able to monitor, right? Because let's assume that drone activity will continue as it has, and say there'll be more drones here and around the country. Local law enforcement right now doesn't have all the tools they need to both identify the drones and then, if they need to take them out of the air. There does not appear to be any threat, imminent threat, to public safety or to our national security. But I do think everybody has a right to know.
Millions of Americans have their eyes to the sky trying to unwrap a mystery. Ever since Thanksgiving, there have been thousands of reported drone sightings, mostly in the skies over New Jersey. Now those sightings have spread. Reports of flying objects have cropped up in half a dozen states in the Northeast, some even here in New York City. And now what was a curiosity is raising some alarm among some federal officials.
The FBI and Homeland Security Department have said these objects do not pose a threat to the public. In fact, some law enforcement officials believe they aren't drones, but planes or helicopters that are being mistaken for unmanned aircrafts. But despite that, some high-ranking elected leaders are demanding answers to what the objects are and who's controlling them. In the dark of night, the number of reported drone sightings in at least 6 East Coast states is now more than 3,000 and counting.
We saw blinking, like lots of blinking things up in the sky to the south, right over the ocean.
In New Jersey, unexplained drone activity was reported above a naval weapons station, while farther north, the FAA ordered temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over Picatinny Arsenal, where armament research is conducted, and over a Trump golf club.
There's one right above us.
But no one is sure how the oversized drones, some reported to be the size of cars, got there. At the White House, the National Security Communications Advisor offered this.
Many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
And a local sheriff seemed to discredit the credibility of a covert operation.
If they didn't put their lights on, no one would be looking, right?
Right.
And they're putting their lights so they want you to see.
But some politicians want to know more.
The fact that the federal agencies responsible for briefing the public have not come forward in a clear way is unacceptable.
Yesterday, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy wrote a letter to President Biden asking for federal resources to figure out what's going on. And senators from New York and New Jersey signed a joint letter to the FBI, FAA, and Department of Homeland Security.
If you don't know whose it is and who's flying it, you have to take it down.
Well, that sentiment from New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand echoed by President-elect Donald Trump. He posted on Truth Social that the government should let the public know what the objects are or shoot them down. Experts caution the public should not take matters into their own hands. Shooting down a drone or any aircraft is a federal crime.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at him spraying. Look at that. Look at that. He is spraying the sky again. Bro, this is fucking crazy, man. Look at this guy. They're spraying the skies. Look, he just sprayed that. This guy. This guy just sprayed that.
So we saw the drones in our area tonight, and it was kind of interesting. And I just wanted to share with you what we saw and the things that we tried to take pictures of, but it's really hard to do so. So let's kind of talk about it. For those who don't know, I am based out of New Jersey, and we were leaving Target, and out of nowhere, we saw this thing flying very low. You could definitely tell it wasn't an aircraft. The first thing I did is the same thing I tell you. Open up flight radar to see if anything was nearby. The closest aircraft was about 35 miles away, so wasn't anything on the map. The lights on them are very different than, say, a drone like a DJI drone and or like a regular aircraft. The way that they blink is like, oh, that's not how that normally goes. And these drones were fixed wing drones, and they moved at incredible speeds. Like would just kind of like turn really quickly. We tried following it, didn't really get close enough to really see what it was, and taking pictures were like no good, because when you put your phone up there and you use the iPhone, there's no lenses, so it's like it's all digital and it's just all kind of blurry. Like that's the best we got. It was weird. It was weird. That's all we got. That being said, we're now seeing governors of Virginia, New York coming out saying that these have to stop. Virginia, obviously, there's a lot of bases over there. People are concerned about the bases here in New Jersey. But in every single report we're reading, everyone says everything's okay. These drones are following regular guidelines. Nothing is out of the ordinary. They're flying in general airspace, and it's not a threat. But if you guys saw a drone anywhere state, I mean, at this point, they're seeing them everywhere. Let me know. Email some photos, and we'll share them on here. I mean, you saw mine. It was like nothing. But be sure to follow me for more. I'll keep you guys updated.
For weeks, people across New Jersey and nearby states have reported seeing drone-like objects flying low in the night sky. And it keeps happening. For perspective, more than 1.7 million drones are registered for commercial and recreational use in this country. CBS's Allie Bauman is in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, with what residents are now demanding. Allie, good evening.
Good evening, Jerick. And as more and more reports of these drones come pouring in, some lawmakers here in New Jersey met again today to discuss law enforcement's capabilities to monitor drones.
What is that?
Thousands of reported drone sightings.
I saw about 10 drones in total, literally around the apartment complex.
Igniting a nationwide mystery.
We need more answers. We deserve more answers, because this is the world we live in now.
But the worries of today.
The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in The War of the Worlds.
Are starting to sound a lot like the worries of yesterday.
The object itself doesn't look very much like a meteor, at least not the meteors I've seen.
A fictional CBS radio broadcast by Orson Welles set off similar panic across parts of New York and New Jersey in 1938.
Let me calm those nerves. We have not seen anything unusual. We have not seen any unusual activity.
Now, security agencies are faced with a modern challenge, explaining why clusters of drones have been reported flying at night, at least over 7 states. So within the past month, how many drone sightings have been reported to your office?
Well, in Monmouth County, we've seen over 100.
So about 100 sightings reported. How does that compare to like this time last year?
I think in the same month time frame, there were 0. You're going to have to be able to...
Sheriff Sean Golden is one in a growing group of local leaders now calling for a limited state of emergency to address an alarming increase in sightings.
We're going to see an increasingly crowded skies. We need to change some federal laws to keep up with that ever-growing and rapidly growing technology.
Well, Sheriff Golden says the size of some of these drones led him to believe that these are not your average hobbyists, and a federal response, he says, could include calling in the Air National Guard to monitor any potential threats. Jerika?
Allie Bauman for
Last night, we have some breaking news right now. Governor Kathy Hochul of New York is sounding the alarms over the presence of the mysterious drones after last night, according to her, the drones' presence shut down runways at a local airport in New York. The runways were shut down for about 1 hour at Stewart Airfield in Orange County, New York. And now Governor Kathy Hochul is saying, quote, this has gone too far, and is urging the federal government to step in and send in more resources to figure out what the heck is behind these mysterious drone sightings. Now, we know that the Pentagon has repeatedly said that there is no threat to Americans. These drones that were seen in New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and elsewhere. But I will say this, a lot of folks are talking about investigations, and a lot of folks are saying we need more resources. But the thing is that we should know what these drones are by now. It's been weeks since the first sighting of drones in New Jersey, and the public still doesn't have answers. Comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along for all the news you need to know about more to come.
The drones over New Jersey, explained. Let's get into it. So everybody's talking about these drones flying over New Jersey, and nobody knows what they are. But what if I told you we have 2 separate entities flying over New Jersey from a guy that lives in New Jersey? Let me show you. So we got these drones, and then we have these other things up here, these orbs. Now, what's happening is the drones are us. They're following regulation through the airs with the blinking lights, the blues, the reds, the whites. These are U.S. drones. And what they're doing is they're analyzing the orbs, which are UFOs. This one was caught by a helicopter. You can see it. Keep your eye right here. See it? There it goes. That's the orbs. There you go. There they go. So what's happening is U.S. drones are watching the crazy activity of these UFOs over New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. That's what's going on. The U.S. government doesn't know what the heck these are. So they're sending up these drones saying that we don't know what these drones are, but they're not talking about the real issue, which are these orbs in our skies over New Jersey. I just find it interesting that just a few weeks ago, our own government came out and said aliens are real and they live in our oceans. And now all of a sudden these orbs and these drones are coming and going from our oceans. Guys, I don't know what's going on here, but I can tell you this. Something is coming to a head. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. but something is coming to a head. Stay safe and have a day.
Out of all the footage that I've seen about the drones, out of all the explanations that I've heard, this man breaks it down far better. And I believe that is where the connection is. So the drones are from us or from, whoever, the government. But they're monitoring the UFOs, or not the UFOs, but the orbs, the aliens, whatever. That's really in the sky. What are your thoughts there? Do you believe that the drones are monitoring the orbs or the aliens that they're truly seeing that's way high above? Or is this a scare tactic? Is the government trying to induce fear? All right, let's keep diving. Could these be the drones that's flying up high? Or is this the future? Are these the drones that will be watching over cities, towns, communities? Did you see the weapon arsenal on those drones and how big they are? All right, let's go.
Like this, in my own personal experience, I was driving home from a friend's house, passing by Flanders Valley Golf Course, and I saw a drone that looked like the size of a small car, just hovering right above the golf course. And I tried to get a picture of it, but you know how it is, the lights, it's kind of hard to get a true image out of it. But it's honestly kind of been a little comical too, as well, because people come in here with all their conspiracies and all their own ideas of what could be happening, and it is nice in a coffee shop environment to talk about it. And
so you were telling me that some of these drones are as large as a car, some are as small as the more conventional drones. What do they sound like, and what are they moving like when you do see them?
See, sometimes it's hard to really get a true idea of what they sound like, because some of them are very high up, looks like 10,000 feet, and then others could be around 500 feet. So the larger ones, I have seen stories and I have heard that it could sound like a helicopter, while the small ones, when they're high up, you can't really hear anything at all.
Yeah, and then what are people saying? Are people concerned? Are they fascinated? What's the general sense you're getting from people who are coming into your coffee shop?
I would say probably a mixture of fascination and concern. I feel as if definitely the older generation is more concerned with their privacy and all that, but I'm more fascinated by it. I like listening to the conspiracies. I've heard everything from Russian spies to an alien invasion, so it's kind of an
saga. Does anyone else feel like this is just one giant distraction? Today, the UFO drone saga continues in New Jersey, and this time in broad daylight. As you can see here, hundreds of drones are seen in the middle of the sky, forming what looks like a picture of a mountain. It was also announced today that multiple drones have repeatedly entered the airspace over a Navy weapons station in New Jersey. How is that happening? Meanwhile, the Department of Defense put out this test message. I don't know if they were hacked or what this is, but they have said they don't know what it is, but they know it's not a threat. Convenient. Why can't they just shoot these drones down? Long story short, red tape. What do you think is going on with these drones in New Jersey? Do you think it's a distraction? And if so, from what? I will say that I find the timing to be very odd. Just about 30 days before a new president takes office. Also, what's going on around the world. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
This morning, mounting fears with hundreds of mysterious drone sightings over New Jersey and Pennsylvania, night after night, for weeks.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Officials in New Jersey now demanding action from federal authorities, meeting with Homeland Security Wednesday.
It scares the bejesus out of me. You have to tell me, in this day and age, 2024,
that somebody can be flying drones over northern New Jersey and we have no clue who it is, where they're coming from, or where they're landing? That's unacceptable.
A New Jersey legislator also in that meeting posting on X that the drones appear much larger than typical hobby drones, in some cases up to 6 feet. They often fly with their lights off, making them harder to detect. Between 4 to 180 sightings per day, most often between 6 and 11 p.m. The unidentified aircraft spotted in the skies above military installations, neighborhoods, and even President-elect Donald Trump's Bedminster Golf Club.
This is the 12th drone that has come by.
The FBI investigating, but still few answers.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy.
The Pentagon Wednesday striking down claims that Iran is behind those drones.
Our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
And some lawmakers in New Jersey are echoing the frustration, calling for a limited state of emergency. They want all drones in that area in the state's airspace banned until the public has some answers here. And as for the calls for the drones to be shot down, the FAA says only law enforcement can take that action against an aircraft. And with drones flying over these populated areas, that can be extremely dangerous to the public, guys. So it's really confounding.
This is a drone show that happened over the weekend in China, and it is absolutely terrifying. They broke 2 world records. The first one is the most drones controlled by a single computer, and the second one is the biggest drone show in the world with about 10,000 drones that are flying in perfect coordination. Now this is terrifying because imagine if instead of using this technology to do a nice light show like this one, these drones were swarming your city and killing everybody on sight. This is now possible with this technology. We've already seen it in Ukraine, where drones are proving to be so incredibly useful that human soldiers are actually becoming useless. You can control a drone safely from a distance to go kill people or destroy $1,000,000 tanks with just $100 or $1,000 flying drone. We've all seen the Black Mirror episode showing how dangerous these tiny drones could be. The future of war is all about drones, and right now China is years ahead of any other countries, and this is absolutely
Drone, tell me what you gonna do, what you gonna do, what you gonna do. When we don't know where it's been, government ain't trustable, it ain't trustable. What you gonna do when you don't know who it is? New Jersey to Huxtable, in Brooklyn, New York. Headlights when they hit the sky, we're buzzing all through the night and run away. Folks spot him, saying it could be anybody, could be China or Iraq. Came up in a mothership. We can't seem to catch one. They turn off the lights and dip for the Secret Service serving, watching our president-elect. Will they wreck? Will they disappear? Or maybe they're really aliens? So we can no, we still gotta go to work in the morning. So till they cancel, I'm high. They could be Vin Diesel filming us Fast 26. Yeah, one way to meet the cast of Star Wars cross them franchises. Yeah.
All right, that wraps up another one for the HFC podcast. What are your thoughts on drones and all the phenomenons that's going on? Not just stateside, worldwide. We're just not seeing, the things in India and so forth. But if you do a deep dive, you will see that it's not just the U.S. Again, I really don't know what this is. I do believe the drones are man-made. Not man-made, but I don't know the intentions here. I really don't. I do believe the drones are being used to, see what's really going on in the sky with those orbs. And I also believe that it could be a test run for these drones to take over cities and so forth. And this was to see how the masses, take in the information and all the sightings that's going on. There is so much to dive into there, and I guarantee that this won't be the last segment we do on these drones and in the UFOs and so forth. As always, thank you for being here with me as we do these deep dives. You guys are totally awesome. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed in these dark, deceptive times. And remember, we are high frequency chaos. Peace!